We got some big events coming up this week that you need to hear about. We're also going to talk XRP and XLM price action because I've got good news for you. United States and China, tariff talks, CPI data, regs discussion, crypto roundtables, and more. All that.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
One of the viewers in the comments said, bro, change your background from blue to green to match the screen. Consider it done. Speaking of your comments come first, and we've got a lot of crypto news to share. JJ Johnson Live says, I moved some Bitcoin to a cold wallet this morning. It took over an hour to transfer. What a joke. My XRP moves in second. Yeah, I talked about Bitcoin being susceptible to quantum hacking. What happens when the players out there realize that Bitcoin isn't as secure as the other ones? And what happens also when they realize there's better options than BTC? When does that market rotate? Thomas Barksdale says, I was watching that moist move talking about the XRP price. It put a smile on my face. The thing is, we got till Wednesday for the SEC to drop their judgment. I don't know much, but I know the rich will dump before the massive pump, just saying, keep it real, and choo-choo nacho grande. I love it. Choo-choo piss nachos. Donnie Atkinson dropping support on the channel. Thank you, kind sir. Says, thanks for the Circle Internet Group IPO heads up. Wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for you. I got 14 out of 44. Thank you again for being real deal. I totally appreciate it, and you're welcome. Look, my whole thing is to bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad, so that you can make the decision that best fits your scenario. That's why I bring you news from IPOs, hot crypto news, hot macro news, global trade news. We talk CPI, we talk price, we talk everything here. You got to make the best decision for you. I just aggregate the news for you. I do the work so that you don't have to. Bitcoin sitting at 106,731. XRP, deep in the green. Same with ICP. XLM passed someone today. Oh, XLM news, I got your backs. But first, Tether's CEO snubs the IPO and says, yo, a $515 billion valuation is a bit bearish. What? Yeah, dude says, yo, we need more than that. Yeah, Ardonio addressed valuation speculation raised by Artemis CEO John Ma, who claimed that if Tether, which is behind the stablecoin USDT, were to go public, it would rank as the 19th largest company globally. Holy crap. With a valuation of $515 billion, larger than giants like Costco and Coca-Cola. This is what Ardonio said. Ardonio said that the $515 billion was a beautiful number, but it's a bit bearish considering our current and increasing BTC and gold treasury. Yet I'm humbled. Yo, how much money do you think? Jack Mahler suggested that one day Tether could reach a $1 trillion valuation. Bonkersville, everyone. Now, if Tether were to go public, would anyone out there get into it? We saw the recent success with Circle. Would you get into it? All right. Monday kicks off the week with some big stuff. U.S. and China resume trade talks in London on Monday. That's right. I'm pleased to announce that the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, and Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, and United States Trade Representative Ambassador Jameson Greer will be meeting in London on Monday, June 9th. What a great day that is. With representatives of China to talk trade. Now, this is big because we've seen when there's been some fighting in the trade sphere, what's happened? It sent crypto prices in the red. But when we got a trade deal, remember when the US-UK trade deal happened? Crypto prices went into the green. All of a sudden, now you're looking at this going, whoa, whoa, whoa. If we get something juicy between the United States and China on Monday, that could totally rocket the market. The announcement comes after Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi spoke for 90 minutes on Thursday. Now they're meeting in London. The last talks between Trump and their Chinese counterparts were held on May 12th in Geneva, representing a major turning point for the global trade war. Okay. That's Monday. What else do we got? SEC roundtable on Monday. Interesting. That's the last one, by the way. On Tuesday, House markup of the Clarity Act. That's the crypto bill, right? The Clarity Act that would regulate the entire crypto market, which would be juicy for XRP, XLM, Doge, and the rest of the market. That's a big one. Wednesday, the 11th, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, CPI data. You get juicy CPI data on top of it. We could have a really good week, everyone. That could set up some really juicy green up on the screen. The rally could continue. Now, XLM's got some good news. XLM dethrones Bitcoin Cash in market shift. So what happened? In a fresh reshuffling of crypto market rankings, Stellar has surpassed Bitcoin Cash in market cap. According to current market data, Stellar now has a larger market cap than Bitcoin's hard fork, Bitcoin Cash. Stellar is now the 16th largest cryptocurrency with a market value of $8.4 billion, while Bitcoin Cash is the 17th largest. Oh, let's take a look at the price action for XLM. I've got the 1 month chart on the screen, but let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see the move. Yes, we all know about the market correction between Trump and Elon, but then look at this. XLM had a move this morning too. Now, it has pulled back a little bit from the highs, but it is still holding well north of where it was earlier today. Volume. This is the key you got to pay attention to, okay? The volume right now for Stellar is up 101% in the last 24 hours. The crypto market as a whole, flat. Only down 0.33%. So this is telling you that certain alts are starting to gain attention. XRP right now, we'll come back to those candlesticks. XRP up 82% in volume. And look at that chart. So you're seeing some definite altcoin favorites out there getting the volume, getting the attention. So we got some big stuff. United States and China on Monday. Monday, we also have the final SEC roundtable discussion. Remember, you also have the Senate who's going to be talking about the Genius Act, right, with stable coins. Tuesday, you got the clarity thing in the House, right? That's the regs for the rest of crypto. Wednesday, CPI data. We talked about XLM price, volume going bonkers, passing Bitcoin Cash. Now let's swing it on over to XRP, where I already touched on. Volume is bonkers. Touch that subscribe button so we can beat Pop-Tarts. And when we do beat Pop-Tarts, we're going to blow them up. We're going to do all sorts of cool stuff with that. Let's go to those candlesticks. Look at this. Look at this move right here. Time and time again, it is trying hard to bust through that 228, 229 ceiling. We have seen this move now for the last several hours trying to make it happen. And oh, is this a move as the volume is holding, pushing north, north, north. Now, before this move started, we were right around that 217 mark, and then it just started roaring. Now, look at this. Before this move, look how dormant XRP was for the last 36 hours before. A lot of nothing, and then all of a sudden, things just started roaring. But look at the resistance here on these candlesticks. A high on this one of 229.37, 229 even here. You had another one right here of 228.9. So right at that 229 mark. But if we break that 229, it seems that the market is then going to what? Let XRP start moving. And if we get a couple of these events that I talked about this week turn into our favor, that'll give the market even more juice to start roaring. And if we get Bitcoin to start moving, which pulls up the rest of the market with it, we could be talking pumperoni. Capital P pumperoni, not lowercase p. So how's this for a turnaround in the market? Yesterday was Boringsville, and then all of a sudden today, a few of our favorite alts just start roaring. And I love putting the green background up, and I hope it continues next week. Well, this week technically, because it's already Sunday. Now, that being said, the talks with China on Monday, that could go either way, because we've seen both sides kind of spout at each other. Trump already said that China violated it. China said that the United States did. Maybe something good comes out of this and Scott Bessent says, yo, we've got more of a deal coming. That'd be great because then the markets could rally from that. By the way, you know the deal. It's Sunday. So what do I do on Sunday nights? I follow the gold markets. That's right, because I want to see, are more players going to slide into the safe haven assets, or are they going to let our risky crypto assets roar? In terms of the SEC roundtable, look, that's just kind of a stroke fest, I got to be honest with you. I think that's just, I don't know. I don't put much stock into that stuff. I've watched a couple of them. They're really stupid. I got to be honest with you. They're dumber than shit. It's like a total dog and pony show. In terms of the regs with the House, that we got to listen to. Because if we see a lot of pushback with the House, then I think we have to start asking ourselves, oh, are they really going to get this crypto bill settled? And what's going to happen then? Are they going to ask their counterparts over in the Senate to start pushing down the stablecoin bill? In terms of CPI data, important, but I'm not putting a lot of weight on it unless it comes way, way high or way, way low. If it comes way, way low, we know it puts more pressure on Jerome Powell to cut rates, but he already said he's not going to cut until what, everyone? Until we get the trade deal sorted out. Monday's a big day. That sets up the rest of the week to hopefully keep up the green on the screen and the green in the background, because that's what's going to happen. So choo-choo what? Hold on, let me put the sign on in the background. put this on up here. I'll rotate this around so that y'all can see it. Choo choo what? Choo choo bitches. Biznachos. Biznachas. Maybe you're a female.